What if I told you that Stellantis, the company behind the iconic American brands like Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Chrysler, is shutting down one of its most critical testing facilities as part of a desperate move to cut costs? The automotive giant is closing its 4,000-acre Arizona proving grounds where some of the most legendary vehicles will push their limits. But what does this mean for the future of Stellantis and its ability to deliver quality vehicles? This isn't just a simple cost-cutting measure. This decision is a symptom of a much larger problem at Stellantis. After struggling with declining sales, mounting recalls, and the ability to keep up with the electric vehicle revolution, the company is now taking drastic steps that could jeopardize the future of its brands. It's starting to get to that time of the year where you need to make your dollar go a long way. Now, whether or not you need to buy you an exhaust system, sticky Mickeys, catch cans, whatever, my friends at Drag Racing Wheels and Just Bolt-Ons have you covered. And with my discount code over here, Butter, that you can use to checkout, you can save up to an additional 15% off on your next order. So take advantage of this discount with my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com, where some of the best prices online for aftermarket parts just got a little bit better. In a shocking move, Stellantis has announced that it is shutting down its Arizona proving grounds, a massive 4,000-acre testing facility that's been crucial in evaluating the durability, performance, and the safety of vehicles under the harshest conditions. The proving grounds have been the backbone for testing for iconic brands like Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Chrysler. According to a report from the Detroit News, Stellantis will be closing the facility to improve efficiency and consolidate its operations. The Arizona proving grounds provided unique conditions, extreme heat, rough terrain, and the kind of real-world stress test that you can't just replicate just anywhere on the planet. The site has been instrumental in testing legendary vehicles like the Jeep Wrangler and the Ram 1500, which I'm pretty sure a lot of these videos, like right here with the Ram TRX, was filmed right there around the Arizona proving grounds, ensuring that these models can withstand the toughest conditions. And yet, Stellantis is shutting it down. They say they will move testing to other locations in North America and abroad, which begs the question, how do you maintain vehicle quality when you're cutting back on the very infrastructure design to ensure that it is actually safe, reliable, and has the quality? And then the crazy thing is, so you're telling me if they go build a new Ram 1500, they're gonna go ship this new Ram 1500 off to another country for testing? Because it said in the article that they're gonna ship some of these testing vehicles overseas. So is that not gonna increase costs, having to ship a vehicle maybe to like Africa or something like that to go do testing? Or maybe because since it's not Americans doing the testing anymore, they can go have cheaper labor over there in Africa do the testing. Now let's get to the heart of the issue. Why is Stellantis making this drastic move? The answer, as always, comes down to money. Stellantis is scrambling to cut costs amid a challenging economic environment. As CNBC reports, this isn't an isolated decision. It is part of a broader effort to reduce expenses across the board. In fact, Stellantis has been struggling with profitability, particularly in the North American market. And it's quite easy to see because they jacked the prices up, pissing everybody off because they didn't lower the prices back down from COVID. And next thing you know, people are really getting fed up because now interest rates are higher. People are making less money on their paycheck than ever before. And now people can't afford to spend an average of $60,000 on a vehicle when the industry average for vehicles from other brands are like $45,000. People can't afford that extra, I say about $250-ish extra dollars per month to buy an outdated vehicle that hasn't been updated in years. Like the newest vehicle that Stellantis has brought out in the last 5 years is really just the Hornet, and that's basically about it. Like, I mean, even the Ram 1500 is basically the same exact truck with an engine that's not even proven, that a lot of dealers will tell you that those engines are blowing up even before people start to drive them. I've known several dealers who contacted me about the new Ram 1500 with the Hurricane engine, that those vehicles aren't either starting, they're getting limited. I've had customers tell me that their engines blown in them. I had somebody tell me in a live stream the other day that one particular guy's Hurricane engine had blown on him twice. So I'm just saying, maybe they should have kept these proving grounds open or did some updates or something to make sure these quality issues are less of a problem. Now, Stellantis had a company had a banner year in 2023, but that success has been short-lived. By the mid of 2024, Stellantis US sales had plummeted. Market share was down and profits have fallen by nearly 50%. Stellantis' stock has taken a very bad nosedive, losing more than half of its value from a high in March 2024 down to now. And to make matters worse, the UAW strike and supply chain disruptions have only added to the company's financial woes. The supply chain issues with Stellantis is really their own fault because Stellantis has been taken to court by their suppliers for not paying their bills. And Stellantis had to send some of their other suppliers to court because the supplier was like, you're not paying me, I'm not delivering parts. So some of this stuff is on Stellantis' hands, some of the stuff's on the UAW hands, but there's a lot of crap going on both sides. The proving grounds is one of several steps Stellantis has taken to trim its costs, but it's now a worrying sound about how deep these cuts are going to be going. It's one thing to cut marketing budgets or delay a new product launch, but when a company starts shutting down critical R&D and testing operations, it signals that there's a problem that runs a lot deeper than what we actually know. Like, how in the world did this company have record profits literally every single year, 2021, 22, 23, and then in one year, they are starting to sell off stuff because of one bad year. And it's not even a bad year, it's a bad 6 months. Stellantis is essentially trying to patch up its financials at the expense of long-term quality and innovation. The closure of the Arizona Proving Grounds is just the latest in a series of troubling moves by Stellantis. The company has been plagued by recalls, quality issues across its lineup, which have only added to its struggles. Over the past few years, we have seen widespread recalls affecting vehicles like the Jeep Grand Cherokee, Dodge Durango, the Ram 1500. I just seen an article where now all the Dodge Hornets are being recalled, the Tonala's getting recalled, the Pacific's getting recalled, the diesel trucks, they telling customers park them suckers outside. These problems are ranging from a variety of issues, right? You got faulty electronics to engine failures to the hybrid batteries having like an abnormality in like the software or the chemistry in it. It's just crazy the amount of issues that's going on. But like I said, you take the Grand Cherokee, for example, you had the issue like a year or two ago where they do a stop sale because I think the RF hub in those vehicles were going bad and people literally had 5,000-pound bricks sitting in their driveway because it wouldn't respond to their keys. So these are not just minor glitches. These are critical safety issues that put drivers at risk. And instead of concentrating on fixing these issues, Stellantis did nothing because apparently, like I said, in that podcast I did with the UAW was telling Stellantis that the wiring harnesses in the Ram 1500s are too short and that they need to extend them. But Stellantis did not fix that issue. And the UAW was saying in that podcast that if a Ram 1500 hits a bump a certain way, that wire harness behind the dash is going to come unloose and you're going to lose power in your truck. So you literally have all these issues that apparently, from what the UAW was saying, they have documentation to prove that they told Stellantis this was an issue and Stellantis did not do anything. You know what Stellantis did do though? When the UAW came and told them that all this stuff is going on with these vehicles, Stellantis fired hundreds of engineers. They fired hundreds of engineers earlier this year, all the way to last year, and brought in foreign engineers that I did another video on. They brought in engineers from like India and a lot of these other lower cost countries that had no idea what the crap they're doing. And these people are trying to fix these issues in these plants with these vehicles, and it's still not happening. I mean, let's move on to another one. Let's move on to the Dodge Durango. Just like last month, police departments in Indiana reported catastrophic engine failures in their fleet of Dodge Durango pursuit vehicles, many of them with less than 15,000 miles on them. And this isn't just a PR nightmare for Stellantis, it is a major safety issue. When the vehicles that law enforcement relies on to protect the public are breaking down, that's a clear sign of a company losing its grip on quality control. These vehicles, these police vehicles, are supposed to be the most reliable vehicles that they sell. Like, they put a statement out saying that, oh, the Durango meets the highest safety and standards, but Indiana would basically tell Stellantis to kick rocks because we have a fleet of these vehicles that are broke that we cannot use. How in the world does a defective oil cooler sideline literally an entire fleet of vehicles. An oil cooler is literally just a static product. You're telling me Stellantis use parts so cheap they can't get another vendor to make a better oil cooler for them. The article was saying that Stellantis has been trying to tell the Indiana State Police and Maryville Police that they're going to try to have a fix for them. And this was back in February, March. And here it is, October. They still have not gotten a fix for them to fix these vehicles. But part of Stellantis' struggle is the slow and somewhat clumsy pivot to electric vehicles. The auto industry is rapidly shifting towards electrification, according to all the experts, and companies like Ford, GM, Tesla are already miles ahead of Stellantis. And even though all the experts say that electric vehicles are the future, why is all these companies now pushing back on electric vehicles? You have Ford pushing back on updating the Lightning. I don't really see the Hummer EV selling. I really don't see the Silverado EV selling. Even Dodge's must hype shift towards electrification, like with the upcoming Charter Daytona, has been met with a lot of skepticism, especially for me, from its core fan base. And without the Arizona proving grounds, how will Stellantis test the durability and performance of these new EVs in extreme conditions? We already know in the wintertime, EVs don't get as much rain as they do, but what's going to happen when it gets really hot? How are these EVs going to respond to extreme heat for people who live in the southwestern part of the country? Electric vehicles have their own unique challenges, especially when it comes to battery performance in high heat environments like Arizona. Shutting down this facility could compromise their ability to deliver a reliable, high performance EV in the near future, especially when the whole Charter Daytona Banshee is supposed to come out, and we have no idea when that vehicle is going to come, if it does ever come out. And then you're going to have, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a Ram TRX EV based off of the Ram Rev. It's probably gonna be like a tri-motor, but is it gonna be reliable because they can't test it in the Arizona desert? But you know, what does this mean for Jeep, Dodge, Ram, and Chrysler? These are the brands with decades of history and they're built loyal followings, particularly with their toughness, reliability, and performance. But now that reputation is now on shaky ground. Now, for Jeep, known for its rugged off-road vehicles, losing their dedicated testing ground in the desert seems like a major setback to me. The Wrangler, for example, is marketed as the ultimate off-road vehicle, typically was cheap, but not cheap anymore. But can you maintain that image when you no longer have the facilities to test it in those harsh conditions? For Dodge, the stakes are just as high. Dodge is trying to transition from a gas guzzling muscle car to an electric performance vehicle, but would it be able to deliver the same thrill without a facility to test the EV under extreme conditions? What's going to happen with that vehicle if the battery packs get extremely hot? Are they going to be able to make sure that the bugs are out of that car, doing limited testing in the desert? Or would it have been a better situation if that car could have stayed there and tested plenty of times to make sure that everything is fine? Because like I said in another video, they just had the Chrysler Pacificas have a massive recall where they had some kind of like abnormality. I don't know if it's in the battery or the chemistry or the software, where they're telling those people who own those Chrysler Pacifica hybrids to do not park near your homes because your vehicle may catch on fire when nothing is going on with it. So if they're having this problem with a small, tiny battery pack in a Chrysler Pacifica, what's going to happen in a Charter Daytona? And let's not forget Ram, Stellantis' cash cow. Now, Ram trucks are known for their durability and toughness, but recent recalls and quality issues have raised doubts. Ram trucks need to be tested in the harshest environments to ensure the reputation for toughness. Without Arizona, where would the testing actually happen at? Are they going to actually test it here in, I guess, Michigan, where it doesn't really get hot that many times of the year? Are they going to send the trucks over to, I guess, the UAE or Africa, wherever they have testing grounds over there? Are they going to send it over to Mexico for them to test out there in Mexico? So are they doing all the testing stuff to, I guess, you know, have a better cost strategy, or just use cheaper cheaper labor to actually test these vehicles? But Stellantis is definitely at a critical crossroads as a company. This company is under intense pressure to cut costs, but at what expense? They've already laid off thousands upon thousands of people, laid off shifts. They've laid off people from across the world. So what else is this company going to do? Shutting down the Arizona Proving Grounds is a gamble. A short-term financial fix that could have a long-term consequence. Just as though the dealers were saying to Stellantis in that letter that you're doing short-term fixes that's not going to fix or help you in the long term. As Stellantis continues to face declining sales, quality control issues, and fierce competition from other automakers, the question remains, can they turn things around? Some analysts believe that Stellantis is making a huge mistake by not investing in more testing and R&D, especially as the auto industry undergoes a massive transformation towards electrification. Cutting corners now could lead to even more costly recalls and quality issues down the line. And with competitors like Tesla, Ford, and GM ramping up their testing and innovation efforts, Stellantis risks falling behind even further. The closure of Stellantis' Arizona Proving Grounds is more than just a cost-cutting measure. It is a sign of a company that is struggling to keep its head above water. From declining sales to mounting recalls, Stellantis is facing challenges on all fronts, and their decision to shutter such critical testing facilities raises serious questions about their future. Are we witnessing the slow decline of some of America's most iconic American brands? Will Stellantis be able to recover from these setbacks and compete in a rapidly changing market? Or is it just the beginning of a larger unraveling? Will Stellantis go bankrupt? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. And until the next time, I'm out.